two philosophical aphorisms, and I agreed with the villains aphorism and disagreed with the heroines. Because Silco says, power does not go to those who were born fastest, smartest, or strongest. It goes to those who will do anything to achieve it. And I don't find that, to be clear, I don't find that aspirational, but I find it accurate. It's like, no, we shouldn't live that way. But by my observation, that's true. You know, like, I hate to say it because it sounds like sour grapes from someone who just got out as a junior officer. But the guys and gals I saw climbing the chain as fast as possible, getting promoted below the zone, it wasn't always because they were super talented or great leaders. It was because they wanted that life more than they wanted anything else. And some of them were great, and some of them were a little more selfishly motivated. So just in the real world, I look around and I'm like, Silco ain't wrong.
Yeah. No, I you're right. You hit it on the head. He's not wrong. They're doing that thing that I love, that I tried very hard to do in my own book series, where you introduce this character and he's terrible and you hate him. And then you give the audience all the reasons why he is the way he is. And the audience starts to resonate with him and starts to sympathize with him.
And maybe he even, like, he's wrong. He's clearly wrong, but he does have a point.
Right. Right. Yeah. And that's challenging about this show. So, I mean, even just so far, even the first, just 2 episodes, it's challenging because it kind of makes you think, like, oh, okay, well, why did I immediately assume that, Vi and Powder were and Vonder were the good guys? Is it just because I saw their perspective first? Well, what does that say about me?
Yeah. And we all know that's a powerful tool as a writer. If I put you in someone's shoes and don't have them do anything obviously psychopathic or sociopathic to go with, they don't kick the puppy and they don't murder a kid. If I put you in their perspective, you're probably going to think you're with the hero. It's true.
Yeah.
So the aphorism from the light side of the Force in this one was when Vi tells Powder, that which makes you different makes you strong. And I'm like,
maybe.
Sure. Our differences are valuable and our unique perspectives are valuable. But when you lay it down as a universal statement, I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Like, I can think of multiple exceptions to that. So it was one of those things where it was one of the few times where the writing does something schmaltzy, in my opinion. It's like they tell us something we want to believe. And maybe Vi would say that, so it's not necessarily bad writing. But I'm like, that's it's nice, but that is not always true. From my perspective, it's often true, but it's not always true.
I think it depends on. You ready? I'm going to split some hairs, like right down the middle. I think it depends on your definition of strength and the context we're talking about, right? Because oftentimes, and you did say this, that oftentimes it is true that that which makes you different makes you stronger, right? It's the whole boy named Sue. Philosophy.
You're gonna have to get mean or die. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But what is strength, right? Like, what is strong? I actually got into this, and I apologize if this is a digression. I actually got into a debate about the character of Cinderella from the fairy tale and whether or not she was a strong character and or like a strong person, right? And I argued that she was, because in that instance, she exhibited endurance and was able to take being, treated badly and not let it change her into someone she didn't want to be, and still was able to retain her kindness. And that to me was an example of strength. I guess not everybody agrees with that. Right. That maybe that doesn't seem like strength to everyone. So I think it depends a little bit on what you're calling strength, because I think that what makes us different may not make us strong necessarily, but it makes us makes us who we are.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's completely just schmaltz. That's all.
Yeah. I guess I'm a grumpy old man. I would agree with you about Cinderella.
I'm older than you.
You were in the Air Force. You're more optimistic. What can I tell you? I would agree with you about
Yeah, but I'm a helicopter pilot.